the marginalised majority. We talked about bookmakers last week. Let's talk this week about the other take-out merchants, the racecourses. The racecourses, like the bookmakers, are interested in one thing and one thing only, making money. And they'll go to any lengths to achieve it. Some years ago, the racecourses issued press badges to representatives of the big bookmaking firms. Probably another case of scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Sponsor a few races and we'll give you press badges. And then you can mingle around the weigh room. I happened to look into the press room a few years ago, and there was as many bookmaker representatives as there were pressmen, or supposed to be pressmen anyhow. There were as many bookmaker representatives there. It's hard to believe. Are the bookmakers representatives there to greet all the jockeys and trainers and wish them all good luck? Please note, we are not all dumbos. How the Racecourse Association have got away with this is hard to understand. And now with this new organisation that is imposed on us, called the HRA, their big thing is to investigate privileged information which is not in the public domain. Oh dear me. Could the HRA please try and live in the real world? For a few years, I've always wondered why sometimes in work mornings in Newmarket, it was difficult to get a signal on my mobile phone. Now I know it was the stable employees ringing their aunties and uncles. By the way, when you can't get a signal on your mobile, it's called mobile phone satellite congestion. We may as well learn a bit of knowledge as we go along. You think the above is bad? Listen to this. The Levy Board, in association with the Racecourse Association, a few years ago organised the buying and selling of betting pitches on the racecourse. Up to then, it was a case of seniority. The longer you were betting on the racecourse, the better pitch you had. Well, the auctions realised over £100 million. A very, very big sum. The NJPC, and to give them their proper name, the National Joint Pitch Council, was set up to administer the pitches. And they got 6% of every sale, which would be approximately 6 million. I know a number of people who mortgaged their houses to buy these pitches and run a business. What are they worth today? You'd be lucky to get half your money back. If you bought a betting shop 4 years ago, would it have lost 50% of its value? You must be joking. I went to Yarmouth on Thursday the 28th of June. I had a runner. I just thought I'd inquire about the position of the racecourse pitches. And I was told by a number of bookmakers that there's a number for sale there and there's not a penny bid for them. So the pitches have dropped over 50% in value. And there's two reasons for this. Number one, the business on racecourses has dropped drastically. You don't have to take my word for it. Listen to what Barry Dennis said when being interviewed by John McCurrick on Monday the 25th of June at Windsor. Betting at Windsor, he was taking less than £1,000 per race on the first 5 races. That's amazing. How can a business work like that? You think the above is bad? Get your mind around this. On the 1st of September 2012, which is in about 5 years' time, the Racecourse Association have announced that they will be offered the pitches on a commercial basis. In other words, the poor unfortunates who mortgage their homes have a worthless asset. are we going? I'll tell you where we're going. The Ascots, the Chetnas from New York, they'll survive. The middle to lower courses will have a few bookmakers representing the big boys. They'll be returning ridiculously short SPs to the betting shops because the on-course market will be so weak. So thanks to the Racecourse Association, their friends the big bookmakers will have the game completely tied up this time. The bookmakers will no longer be dependent on the hurly-gurly machines. You know, when you go to the racecourse, you see all sorts of signs. Restaurant, paddock, press room. I think the press room is misleading. It should be called the press room and agents for the big bookmakers. Now, it's not all bad news. However, you might remember from my previous article that I said I cannot understand why Panorama dispatches don't investigate the miserable state that British racing is in. Well, folks, the good news has arrived. The day the article was aired, on Tuesday the 26th of June at approximately 4:25, a producer from the BBC Panorama programme made contact. Now my fire is really glowing. We'll end thought for the week. The television and newspapers are full of politics at the moment. All the talk is about change. And we all know that change is not going to happen. We will just get more of the same. So let's all think of some other way.